This presentation provides an overview of the Victorian Auditor-General's report, State Purchase Contracts. The Victorian public sector buys a lot of goods and services, $18.6 billion worth in 2016-17. State purchase contracts, SPC, are used to aggregate demand for commonly used goods and services such as utilities, office consumables, and information communication technology, ICT. The value of SPCs is significant and growing, from $1.06 billion in 2014-15 to $1.48 billion in 2016-17. Each SPC is established and managed by a lead agency, primarily the Department of Premier and Cabinet, DPC, and the Department of Treasury and Finance, DTF, but also the Department of Justice and Regulation, DJR, and Senatex. For public sector entities bound by a Victorian Government Purchasing Board, VGPB policies, SPCs are either mandatory or non-mandatory for use, based on an assessment by the lead agency. At June 2017, there were 34 SPCs, with 23 mandatory and 11 non-mandatory. Our overall objective was to assess whether government agencies realise financial and other benefits through their use of SPCs. We examined whether VGPB and lead agencies oversee SPCs effectively. We also examined whether reported benefits are reliable and whether scope exists to increase the financial benefits obtained from these arrangements. We audited 8 agencies: Senatex, the Department of Economic Development, Jobs, Transport and Resources, the Department of Environment, Land, Water and Planning, the Department of Education and Training, the Department of Health and Human Services, DJR, DPC and DTF. We also examined VGPB in its oversight role of state supply policies. While SPCs provide financial savings and other benefits, Victoria is not making the most of its purchasing power. Across government agencies, Victoria does not have consolidated, comprehensive and detailed spend data as exists in other jurisdictions. Financial management reform in the public sector over the past 3 decades has included decentralised budgeting, accounting and reporting. This has led to the siloed information systems across Victorian government departments. This limits opportunities to identify new SPCs, more strategically manage key suppliers, and monitor and share information about prices paid to optimise savings. Unlike other jurisdictions, neither VGPB or lead agencies have a complete picture of the goods and services purchased by public sector agencies. This is mainly due to the absence of standardised systems and the business rules that govern how purchasers collect and classify information. As a result, VGPB and lead agencies don't have a full understanding of categories of expenditure amenable to aggregation and have limited insight into potential contract leakage. The split in responsibilities has resulted in inconsistent management practices across the 4 lead agencies. SPC performance could be improved by better monitoring suppliers' performance and sharing information with users, including assessing client satisfaction, managing key suppliers, sharing savings opportunities with departments and entities, and tracking SPC prices. Lead agencies report that SPCs deliver significant financial benefits. However, without individual targets for each SPC to measure these reported benefits against, it is difficult to determine if they represent value for money. For some SPCs managed by DPC, we disagree with the methodology it uses to calculate these benefits, and we believe the calculation has resulted in the overstatement of benefits. We made 1 recommendation to VGPB to address the central collection of comprehensive procurement data, 5 recommendations to lead agencies, DTF, DPC and DJR to address how they manage SPCs and set, monitor and report on benefits, 2 recommendations to DTF and DPC to address how they assess user satisfaction with SPCs, and the need for a central record of applications for exemptions from mandatory SPCs. 3 recommendations for all departments as SPC users to address the need to understand and monitor contract leakage. All our recommendations have been accepted and work to address these issues has started. For further information, please see the full report of this audit on our website, www.audit.vic.gov.au.